It's your boy AJ Stacking coming at you with the video on fractional silver. People love it and some people hate it. They think the premiums are too high, which in fact premiums are pretty high. For the amount of silver that's in these little pieces, it definitely costs you a pretty penny. The 1/10 melt probably around $1.60 around there right now, with spot hovering a little over 17. The cost per 1/10 round is usually around $2 to $2.50, $3. Sometimes you'll even see them higher than that, but I think the most I've seen on Instagram or Facebook has been around $3 for a 1/10 round. But let's get a little deeper. It almost filled into the bottle and what fractional silver is. Come have a closer look. Here it is, the fractional jar. Let's dump it out. See what we got. Bunch of 1/10. Majority is 1/10. A few of them are 1 gram and a few quarter ounce pieces, but most of it is 1/10. This stuff is expensive. Here is your 1 ounce buffalo, 1 ounce round. Now we have here the quarter ounce. This is our half ounce, sorry. This is where we start our fractional. A half ounce, then you go into a quarter ounce, then you go into a 1/10. I don't have a 1/20th buffalo, but I do have this Libertad. That's a 1/20th silver Libertad. And then of course your last but not least, your 1 gram pieces. So you go from a 1 ounce to half ounce, quarter ounce, 1/10, 1/20th, and a half ounce. Look at that. Fractional compared to a 1 ounce. Now, why does fractional silver cost so much? One of the reasons is if you're melting 100 ounces, it's going to cost you the same amount to melt it to make 100 of these, or to make 10 times the amount in a half ounce. You know, or sorry, in a 10 times the amount in a quarter ounce. You know, you're gonna make in a half ounce. It's gonna take you double the amount. You're making 200. Quarter ounce, you're making 400, and at 1/10, you're making 1,000. 1,000 of these little rounds to make 100 ounces. So if it takes you 10 times as much to make these little guys, of course it's going to take you much longer time. I mean, they could have 10 dies stamping at the same time, while this is just 1 die stamping. But the cost to make those dies and to make the 1/10 is a lot higher than the cost to make a 1 ounce. So that's why you see pretty high premiums. People like the smaller stuff because you can take a couple of dollars and buy one of these guys. You can take, you know, if you had $20, you can grab a few of these and you know, feel like you bought something because you walked out with a little handful of these little silver pieces, as opposed to just walking out with a 1 ounce. You know, the satisfaction of holding multiple pieces in your hand is a lot bigger than holding a 1 ounce round for most people. But people also like to use the fractional stuff to barter later on in the future. I see it happening now where people are actually trading the 1/10 ounce for other stuff. And you know, if I've had it where people want to trade me for something and I want, you know, 16.5 or 16.25 ounces, and they have this stuff. They have quarter ounce to trade because they stack some of this fractional. But it is very expensive, especially when you get to the 1 gram stuff. You're paying about $1 per gram when it comes to the fractional, you know, bars. If you also have these guys that are pretty famous here, the Valcambi 100 gram combi bars. These break up into 1 gram bars, and you're able to take out these guys here, that's what they look like broken up. It's a Valcambi 1 gram of silver. It's a cool little bar that you can just take them in strips and just snap them and pop these little guys out. You know, so people love this stuff, but these, you know, are running you around 80 bucks, you know. So it's cheaper than buying a single bar because you're paying $1 per bar. So you're paying $100 if you're buying them loose, but you have them in this, you're paying around 80 bucks, 70 to 80 bucks, you know, but it doesn't compare to the 1/20th like Libertad or government bullion, government issued coins that are small fractional. Like this is a 1/20th, melts around $85 right now at current spot, around sitting around 17. And these are going for about $5 plus shipping, $4 to $5 plus shipping. A 2015 1/20th Libertad. You know, it's ridiculous. You know, you're paying a crazy amount, 50 bucks, 60 bucks per ounce if you buy 10 of these guys. But it's fractional. They don't make many of them. It costs more to make, costs more to produce. So that's what you're paying for. And again, if you have a 1 ounce round or 20 ounces, 10 ounce bar, 20 ounce bar, 50, 100 ounce bar, trying to break it to sell, you know, if you have a 10 ounce bar and you want to just sell 2 ounces, you have to sell the whole entire bar. So if you have this stuff, you can go in and walk in and sell a few pieces if you just need, you know, a quick $50. But if you have a 10 ounce bar and say you bought it at 100, you know, when spot was at 16, you paid 160 for it. Spot is at 17, you pay, and you go and sell it and you get 170 for it. You're gonna make money, but you just want to take $50 out of it. So you want to put the other 120 back into silver, but it's going to cost you a lot more. You know, you're going to pay $1 more per ounce, $1.50 more per ounce because spot went up. So in reality, now that you have to pull out all that, your average cost is going to be a little higher because now you're putting that money into higher silver, as opposed to if you bought 10 ounces in 1 ounce rounds, 10 ounces in half ounce or quarter ounce or the 1/10, you can take a handful, go sell it, and still have the rest of the silver, the rest of your, 7 ounces that you kept because you only sold 3 or 4 ounces. So the fractional stuff is cool to have if you know you may need something in the future. Always buy under 10 ounces. You know, if you can't stack it for long term, try to buy 1 ounce rounds or less. Yes, the premiums are high, but at least you won't lose much more if you're trying to sell something to just cover, an expense that came up. At least you can just get rid of a few ounces as opposed to a whole 10 ounce bar and then wanting to buy more and having to pay more per ounce. So the fractional stuff is cool. The premium is there, but most of the time I see you guys getting the premiums back out of them. Fractional stuff, unless you're going to a coin shop, you can sell it for a pretty premium on Instagram and Facebook. Something I like to collect. As you can see, I have a whole bunch here, but that's how I view fractional. That's my opinion on it. I think it's great to have if in case of a shit hit the fan scenario, you're gonna be wanting to have fractional for sure. If it goes to $100 an ounce, you're gonna be getting $10 for one of these guys when you're paying maybe $2 right now. It's crazy to think that, but it's possible. What do you guys think about fractional? Do you think the premiums are worth it? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.